This is the story of our beautiful island.
The Europeans first landed on the islands in the region somewhere between 1492 and 1502, during Spain's early exploration of the Caribbean. The Dutch, English and French all tried to establish trading outposts on St. Lucia, but faced fierce opposition from the Caribs.
St. Lucia in Vieux-Fort in 1605, when a ship, Olive Blossom, on its way to South America, went off track and landed in Vieux-Fort, and you had this first connection between, certainly in St. Lucia, serious connection between European colonizers, European settlers rather, and indigenous people. That initial relationship was one of trade. Initial encounters recorded in history are always one of trade and exchange, of settle down. I will give you food and huts, you will give me. They gave them trinkets and metals and even guns and things of that sort, of knives and mirrors. So there was trade.
Although the French pirate François Leclerc, also known as James de Bois because of his famous wooden leg, frequented St. Lucia in the 1550s, using it as a hideout, it was not until around 1600 that the first European camps were established.
March 9, 1942, a U-boat came into Castries Harbour, and the first harbour in the Caribbean was attacked and 2 ships were sunk. It was obvious from that action that the bases and other ports in the Caribbean were vulnerable to submarine attack. So this site came into its own at that time, and 2 huge guns were established. There was also an anti-aircraft gun site and a mobile cannon to prevent an attack which could possibly take place in the Casaba Bay.
Near the end of the century, with the French Revolution in full swing, a revolutionary tribunal was sent to St. Lucia headed by Captain Lacrosse. Bringing more than ideas of revolution to St. Lucia, he set up a guillotine that was used to execute royalists. In 1794, the French governor of the island declared that all slaves were free, but only a short time later the British invaded again in response to the concerns of the wealthy plantation owners and restored slavery after years of fighting. Castries, the island's capital today, was burned in 1796 as part of that battle between the British and French Republicans.
To my mind, there are many stories. Most times there isn't one story. Because when we look at an event, the event takes place within a particular time, but then we look at the occurrence from different points of view. History is part of everyday life. History is so fundamental to everything that we do.
Come along with me as we steal away into our heritage and discover St. Lucia.
The first known camp was started by the Dutch in the south, what is now the town of Vieux Fort. In 1605, an English vessel called the Olive Branch was blown off course on its way to Guyana, and the 67 colonists who survived the wreckage started a settlement on St. Lucia. The French officially claimed the island in 1635, but it was the English that started the next European settlement in 1639, which was subsequently wiped out by the Caribs. It was not until 1651 that the French reclaimed St. Lucia, coming this time from Martinique. In 1664, Thomas Warner, son of the governor of St. Kitts, claimed St. Lucia for England.
Allons chatter, chatter, chassons Marianne, chatter, chassons Marianne, chatter pour tout.